Hey, stick around. I might be able to teach you a few things. Good. Here's your lesson plan. And welcome to Fading Footsteps. Today I'm very much looking forward to all of the fantastic revelations that Holly is bound to drop on me with a title like Answers, and I'm very excited to meet our new players. But before we go around, please take a moment to check out the links that the bot is currently spamming at you. There you can find all of our social links, all of the places you can support us. Sponsor information, please check out Bird in the Storm Publishing and Mage Hand Press. They really do make all this possible. And also we have a whole bunch of websites where you can get 10 to 15% discount using our special codes, which can be found below the stream. We also have a tweet, retweet the tweet because it really helps out, helps us reach your friends and get more viewers. Let's go around and say hello to everyone. Holly, oh hi.
Oh hi, how's everybody doing today? I'm Holly. You can find me at Sageophilia on Twitter. I'm here every Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm super excited to maybe get some answers, maybe raise some more questions. Who knows? We're gonna have a good session anyway. I've been looking forward to this all week. We're gonna go ahead and bump it on down to Michaela V. Sims. Let us know where to find you. Who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm Michaela. I'm playing Karina, who's going to be a half-elf warlock, and you can find me on Twitter.
Okay, is it the same? It should be in the chat.
Have up on the chat.
Alrighty, lovely. And let's go ahead and bounce over to Falcon of Flight, Falcon of Light, Falcon O Flight. Are you Irish?
Falcon of Light.
Falcon of Flight.
Hi, I'm Falcon. You can find me on Falcon of Light. Yeah, there's all sorts of things happening there, and I'm happy to be here. Normally, you can find me over on Twitter.
And who are you playing today?
Oh, brains. I am playing Winna Nizor. She is a human and rogue.
And totally 100% on the up and up, never done a bad deed in their life.
Never, always.
And last but not least, bumping on up to Scratticus. You know him, he's here all the time. Oh, hi.
He's definitely not updating his character sheet as we do intros. He's a good person. Hi everyone, I'm playing Syntagon today. Syntagon, the wreck of a teenager trying to become a wizard. Also trying to try his hand at surgery, and it's not going so great. There's some pictures on the internet. We should give a shout out actually to Nventure, who sometimes documents these sessions and comes up with brilliant pictures like Syntagon acid arrowing his friend in the back of the head.
Yeah, for sure. Nventure does a great job drawing and illustrating all of our, we'll call them adventures and not misadventures, on Twitter. So if you want to check him out, he does some really awesome artwork aside from just these as well. And he is also a TTRPG enthusiast, and I hope he's not upset I'm calling him out right now. So aside from surgery last session, we kind of discovered that a lot of people that we interacted with were wearing weird collars with symbols on them, which is somewhere in my book. And we found a roving bookcase that some of our party members went after. We decapitated the corpse of Kent and found out that he may or may not have been not made of organic materials, shall we say. And we tried to get Cordassa's memory back, but may or may not have gotten her flesh melted off the back of her spine in the neck area. Some of the party members went ahead to this strange hole covered by a flap in the dirt wall surrounding this totally normal sunken city. And I think that is about all that happened. Am I leaving anything out? Any high points? Oh, we also found some lore books, but Syntagon wasn't there. So.
Yeah, I wasn't there to see the lore books. I wasn't there. It would have been really useful to be there. You know, it really would have been useful to be there. But I wasn't. But they both did and did not attack a bookshelf.
They kind of attacked the bookshelf, and then the bookshelf seemed to be kind of neutral, non-aggressive. It didn't attack back, we'll say. And they followed it into the hole, which appeared to be a mine in the side of the wall. So where we left Syntagon, he had written across the sky, was it I need a healer or just a healer?
I need a healer.
Okay. So as these words twinkle in the sky, a ball of light seems to coalesce from them and drifts down, and in front of Syntagon forms into this humanoid figure that's almost too bright to look at and has these butterfly wings stretching out and sort of flits them as they land. And a voice that seems to be about 3 voices at once emanates from it. And it says, "You asked for a healer, you need."
Yeah, right now I'm not picky! And I'm gonna just grab their wrist and drag them inside the bar.
As you grab their wrist, you feel almost energized. It is quite late at night, but it's almost like if you imagine grabbing the physical embodiment of caffeine, and it just like immediately seeping into
Not sponsored. Hashtag.
Yeah. Not at all. And you bring this being who seems light, but seems lighter than air, along with you into the tavern, and there is Cordassa on the ground, kicking up quite a fuss. Thank you, Monsterbet.
Thank you so much.
As she's having the skin melting off of the back of her neck. And the being sort of stops where you do.
Well, let's just fix it.
And it seems to sort of look at her and look back at you, and it puts a hand with 2 fingers up to your forehead and draws a line down and says, "Fix it." And you feel, as the fingers go down your forehead, this sort of surge into you as you feel almost an enhancement of ability. And your mind seems to sort of expand, almost as though you have just like instantly learned spells that you didn't scribe into your spellbook.
Oh, this is weird. I feel like I can cast spells, but this isn't like the normal spells. Ah! I'm gonna panic and cast life transference.
As you cast it, you see a thin thread of the...
I should probably read what that spell does.
Yeah.
No, it's Syntagon. He hasn't got a clue.
I assume it's some sort of take life from me and give it to this person.
You sacrifice some of your health to mend another creature's injuries. You take 48 necrotic damage, and one creature of your choice that you can see within range regains a number of hit points equal to twice the necrotic damage you take. So I
do not knock myself out.
I was like,
I do not knock myself out, but I do sacrifice a heckin' ton of health. And they would gain 50 health.
As you cast this magic, you see a thread of some of the light of this creature kind of from like the heart area stream out and like connect with your heart area and get channeled through your hands. And you can see the flesh sort of regrowing and mending over Cordassa's exposed vertebrae and sealing up. And she stops thrashing and screaming and seems to go quiet, but not like death quiet. And the light being, as the spell finishes, sort of that tether exists for just a moment longer, and then it sort of dissipates.
Is that it? Is it fixed?
It should be. But I'll be keeping an eye on you. You can keep this for now.
Wait a minute, who are you? Oh, no.
I am Mikro. And it, like, extends a hand towards you.
I thought, like, we had to, like, sign a pact or something. Like, you know, I was warned about this.
It keeps the hand out.
Surely I have to sign something.
You asked for me.
I did.
You touched me. This touch pact has sealed.
We can't tell Mom.
It sort of nods its head. My business is with you.
And Syntagon has gained 4 healing spells, and he has no idea what they do.
And as Syntagon sort of apprehensively looks on, the being sort of bows its head, and it says, "If you need me, call for me. And if I need you, I will find you."
Oh, God.
And it sort of leans back and stretches its arms up, and its wings extend out. And it says, "For the glory of Google," and it zips out the door and becomes almost like a shooting star as it leaves the inn through the door, like a civilized being of light. And Winna and Karina, you have been sleeping in this tavern. You've been sleeping in this tavern for a few days now, and so far your night, you had some drinks, you hung out some, you played some cards, you talked about where you were going to go next, where the next big heist was, and then sort of drifted off to sleep. And somewhere in the middle of the night, you heard a big crash and a boom following what sounded like somebody hitting a door very loudly. Kind of shrugging it off and trying to go back to sleep. A while later, you heard this piercing scream coming from downstairs. And again, sort of like, someone's dying, I don't want to be there. But now you see, as the entire tavern that you're in, all of the lights come on, all of the lamps, all of the candles, everything comes on at full blast for a while. And then you see light sort of seeping through the floor, and then you see it burst out, and you see it almost like a star shoots right past your window.
Guess the lights aren't shuttered? Or the window's not shuttered, huh?
No, it's kind of darkened glass, but they don't have they're not that nice of an
Well, we can... I'm gonna get up and summon my weapon and just peek outside.
As you
lean over and just start grabbing at the daggers from under the cot.
As you look outside and you see this light kind of going up into the sky, and it bursts out, "I need a healer," and sort of twinkles and falls like fireworks and dissipates. And roll me a perception check, both of y'all.
How do I do this again?
I hit a button. I hope it's the right one.
I'm
I'm +5.
+5. Okay, so if you open your character sheet, and then you go to your core, and you hit perception, it can roll and add the plus to it. You just need it'll pop up automatically. But we'll just go ahead with the 14 plus 5 is going to be a 19, and then a 25. So as you're kind of looking to see outside, this light illuminates a place in the wall of dirt along the rim of this town, where you can see 3 people kind of disappearing into this hole as a tarp kind of flutters shut behind them. Both y'all can see that.
Is that into a building or into the ground?
So the town is sort of inset into the ground, and so there's almost a sheer cliff all the way around it, so it's kind of into the cliff face.
Well, that's interesting. I make sure she gets up and point it out.
Well, looks like we're going to have some fun tonight. Always good to get into trouble.
Yeah,
worth
we can
something?
give that a shot. Should we get some sort of backup or
You really
muscle?
think? Aren't we strong enough? Let's go
I'm
check
not.
it out.
Okay.
So you're leaving the room and going downstairs?
Mm-hmm.
So as you leave the room and there's no one out in the hallways, you go downstairs and you see the bartender, who you've seen a few times, is conked out dead asleep behind the bar. And there are a couple glasses up there. And then you see this tiefling. And what is Syntagon doing now that his light friend has dissipated?
He'll probably be like listening to Cordana's chest and punching his microphone.
Are you flipping her over? And
No, I'll just listen to wherever I can listen. I don't know a thing about medicine.
make me a medicine roll, since you know nothing about it.
Maybe I'll get lucky.
So as you're listening, you can hear / feel breathing. And as you sort of put your ear, like, I'm guessing it's sort of like against the back of like the lung area, since she's laying face down, she kind of groans a little. Not in like a way, but more of like a like, imagine what it would feel like if you were suffocating and then not suffocating and then carved into and then shot with acid and then healed way back up. So that's the sort of groan that you hear. And that's the scene that you two walk in on, is this this pink tiefling face down groaning with this other tiefling pressing his head up against her back.
Looks like someone had a little bit too much to drink.
No, there's slaves everywhere. Oh, thank God you're here. Do you know anything about medicine?
A little bit.
That's more than me.
All I know is that you might not want her face down on the floor. That's a good way to keep her dying.
What should I do instead?
So is that a 4 medicine? It looks like it rolled twice.
Yeah, I don't know. I only have a +2.
Okay. So with the 4 medicine, that is a body right there. It may be alive, it could be dead. That's an entity right there.
Okay. Nope. I don't know.
She kind of stirs and like starts to move to push herself up.
Does that look
And-
normal? Should I heal her again just in case?
It seems to take some effort, but not in a painful way, just in a slow trying to do everything okay way. And she kind of sits back on her knees and looks around and looks at Winna and Karina and says, "Did one of you heal me?"
Point at Centagon.
She kind of looks at Centagon and gives him a small smile and says, "I don't think that went exactly how we were expecting it to go."
Look! I still don't know who you are!
She seems to have a moment of realization and she kind of grabs frantically at herself and looks at you and says, "I had something, a package, a present, a gift. What happened to it?"
You didn't take it, did you?
I gave it to, well, I tried to give it to you before you ran away screaming.
I have no idea.
And she kind of like looks very anguished at this and says, it might have helped with, or made things worse, everything. I'm sorry. And she like stands up and she holds a hand out to Winna and Karina and says, "My name is Cordassa."
Hi,
rude
I'm
of me.
Karina.
Winna.
Shakes. And Karina, you said.
Yes.
And this is Centagon.
Hello, I'm Centagon. He's actually really quite
Hello. That's what she just said.
pretty. Hi. Whoops. Sorry, I'm supposed to do introductions first, but I thought that Kadasa was dying and, you know, things get real. Hi.
Hi.
Well, I'm
so
sorry.
This wasn't just getting drunk down here? I didn't know if the
No!
screams was from a party or not.
Okay, okay, so the last people we did this with freaked out. Have you checked your neck recently for foreign objects?
You guys can make a perception check as you. Yeah, all seems to be it's neck flesh. This neck flesh, fleshy necks all around.
Okay.
Maybe we shouldn't do more of this here. Can't you just... And she kind of wiggles her fingers at Centagon.
Wave?
The thing to find on Charlie, you did a spell. Although, and she kind of like makes a face and says, it's really not that important. Where did the others go?
I think they went chasing a bookcase. We sound crazy.
You are.
Have you... Are you two looking to leave, perhaps, this city?
Eventually, we're making sure that we've done everything we need to do here. Which I don't know what that completely is at this point either.
think maybe it would be a good idea to set out. I would be willing to pay you if you would accompany us. There's something I need to get to.
Well, we were gonna go check on something before we saw this.
What was it? Maybe I can help.
And I look over to my partner in crime. I saw a hole in the cliff face.
She kind of nods and she says, I need to go there.
What is in there?
How
Mines.
much are you paying?
Payment?
What's your normal asking price?
Winna's gonna rattle off a number that actually makes sense for an adventure.
Okay, roll me your persuasion roll.
Sure.
Okay. Well, you kind of like, what do you think? What do you think? And kind of like behind your hand, kind of like give like an idea of a number.
I'm having an off night as I just woke up.
But luckily, Cordassa is far too preoccupied with looking at Syntagon to really see this whole thing going down. And it's in a appreciative way.
What does appreciative mean?
Roll me an insight.
To insight this. Oh,
You did just heal her.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Appreciative of being healed, not appreciative of my fine eyes or anything. I don't know.
As far as you can tell.
Oh god.
And she's, as you kind of and put forth your number, she says, but I can make it happen. And she nods and she pulls out a coin purse and kind of like politely kind of turns the back as she like seems to shuffle some gold around and extends out, say, 600 gold to each of you.
All right.
Okay.
Wow, I've got like no money whatsoever. Like literally none. Where did you get all that?
Well, gold is a bit useless where I come from. It's
Where?
Well, originally, I'm from Mozani, but maybe we should walk and talk. She kind of like panic says, obviously very uncomfortable. And she says, assuming you don't mind to, in the middle of the night, I'm sure we can find some lanterns for you and gestures to the human.
At least a little light.
And she kind of like looks around the bar and
Hang on. She just runs upstairs and comes back down with all of her gear and like lantern that she just pops on her belt and then lights it when they get down the stairs.
she kind of is adjusting like her tunic and kind of feeling the back of her neck a little bit and making that you expect to feel something sticky and there's nothing there sort of gesture. And she sighs a little bit and she says, I'm not sure how dangerous the mine will be, but it's likely to be guarded.
This is gonna be fun.
By what?
At least people.
People are fine. Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
it might be poor judgment to kill them.
If
Oh.
they're trying to kill us?
Well, maybe just a nice, like Charlie back there, and gestures to the unconscious barman behind the bar.
Pull our punches. Oh, sure. Yeah, we can do that.
You look quite capable. I wouldn't want to harm someone innocent.
We can give it a shot.
Yeah.
What's
And
wrong with him?
with Charlie or Syntagon?
Syntagon looks a little...
I'm not thinking about innocent people and things. It's all good.
What's wrong?
Well, I'm thinking that everyone might be slaves because of strange contraptions that are trapped to their necks, and that's really scary.
It's not slaves. And then she kind of has a look and
Let's walk.
Yep.
Okay. It
And-
all started back in this town called Vard.
All right.
There was a blacksmith, and we got to do a
There
quest.
usually is.
And then we ended up in a healing tower, but it wasn't a healing tower, it was a wizard's tower, and it was full of corpses. And then we blew up the tower, and then we ended up in a prison, and then the prison took us to the kegger, and then at the kegger the scorpions attacked, and we got dragged underground, and then everyone had collars on and they're slaves!
Okay, that makes sense.
He's
So what's the
More
problem?
wrong.
it's no problem. And she like opens the door for you all to leave. We
Yeah.
just should keep moving. And she looks around kind of nervously. Moving on.
Mhm.
Do I get the feeling that they're on the run?
Roll me an insight or an investigation. I'll allow that as well.
I think insight is going to be better.
Okay. With an 18, it doesn't look like Syntagon is on the run.
I'm gonna roll investigation. Of course, I roll not very well.
Well,
So you were under the impression that these two are definitely wanted criminals that have way more talents than and renown than you do. Looking at them, they're more magical, but man, they're on the run. And Karina, as you're sort of scoping them out, your judgment is Syntagon does not appear to be on the run, kind of more on the being dragged. But Cordassa really seems to be wanting to get along. Like, maybe she's running towards something or away from something. You're not really sure, but she's definitely like nervous about something and ready to get
okay.
it.
All right. Then yeah, we can start moving. Somebody like that might be a little risky if you keep them.
She kind of nods and she says, what brought you here and how long have you been here? As you guys start walking outside, you notice as you exit the tavern that it is fairly late, probably like 1-ish, but there's no one on the street, which you'd think it's not a podunk town, it's not huge, but you'd think
There might be a drunk or two.
yeah, or like maybe someone skulking around, or maybe like young teenage
A
lover,
guard.
like someone probably out, but you see nobody as you're walking through the town.
We haven't been here too long, and we were somewhat moving through the area. It's really just a situation of what are we getting paid for and what opportunities are there?
She kind of nods and says, well, what were you paid for last?
Oh, that's not that important.
Not important.
She kind of laughs and says, secret mission then.
Sometimes we do a little good, and sometimes we do a little bad.
That's the way of things. And she is actually going to roll a perception on you two. She kind of like, that's the way of things, and seems to sort of like look at you not strangely, but just sort of like size you up a little bit. And
God, that sucks.
and
For being a +7, that's bad.
for sure. I mean, she has a decent amount to hers as well, and like, and she says, did you have a next job or a next destination? And kind of stops and says, well, I suppose that's me, but before we came along.
No.
How long did you say you'd been in town? Exactly.
2-3 days.
She nods very slowly and looks kind of at Syntagon and says, we've only been there a day, I think.
Well, our days and nights are a little flip-flopped right now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you tending to be nocturnal?
It just kind of happens that way.
Understandable. And you're starting to reach this this cliff face. Everybody roll me either an investigation or a survival or a perception. Syntagon, you can roll with advantage.
Why, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, so as you're walking along, Michaela, Karina, you see, thank you. You see these grooves in the ground that looks like someone may have been moving like really heavy furniture along the route that you're taking that seems to lead up to this hole. With a 26, you can also see footprints around this, and as you're looking around, you can see some blood spatter here and there and some torn like pieces of paper. And Syntagon, with a 23 investigation, you're seeing this groove and you're looking at this hole and you're sort of piecing together like, okay, so I saw the bookcase last night. This is probably where it went. And
Yeah, it was charging this way, and there's a big like tarpaulin on the floor right now. Am I remembering that right from what I remember of?
there was a hole that you found like kind of in an alley, and then there's also this hole in the wall covered in a tarp. But the hole in the alley was like invisible, like there's the illusion of grass over it.
Okay. Do we just go down here?
I
mean, let's go down here. This is where the bookcase went. I'm fairly sure.
It's a bookcase? How big is the furniture marks?
Pretty. They're pretty deep. It looks like it was something that was like heavier than a dresser.
Okay.
And like wide.
Okay. So like a wall bookcase would be the size, or?
Yeah, not like Beauty and the Beast bookcase, but like a nice like maybe like 4 feet wide bookcase.
Okay. So, and I asked him this: what was this pushed? Is this like an animated table thing, or?
Yes, it was most similar to being an animated table. There's been a lot of illusion and transmutation and even some enchantment magic going on around the town. Everything's a bit weird. I'm not a crazy wizard.
No, was it autonomous, or was it someone taking it?
It was autonomous.
Okay.
I think transmutation.
Cordassa kind of shrugs and she says, I don't remember this. And roll me an insight if you are interested in the bookcase. Oh, I know. Life is so hard for a kitty. Noisy. Okay. So, girl, I know. So, with a 16, talking about the bookcase seems to make Cordassa kind of nervous. With a 21, she's absolutely hiding something about this. She wasn't there to see it. You can tell that much is true, but it's one of those tell the truth but not the whole truth scenarios.
Oh, we're fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
And you reach this big tarp. Knowing the dimensions of the bookcase based off of the grooves in the ground, you can tell that it would be big enough to allow this to go inside of it.
Okay. And I guess I'll take a peek inside before we have to bring torches into it.
Okay.
You mean-
Roll me a perception.
Oh, shit.
It's a hole. It's a hole. It's a hole in the wall of the.
I'll roll on that one as well. Reception.
Okay. Looking into it, you can see the. It's a man-made structure. You can see like wood kind of supporting it. You can see some glinting in the sides of the walls. This looks like a mine. You can't really see if the grooves continue on. It's a bit rockier inside, and you can't see beyond like the first like couple feet in there. There's a bit of a turn.
It looks like this is a mine shaft.
Okay, so watch our step in case something goes down.
I guess. Okay, who's got dark vision? Okay, well let's. Okay, well we'll walk around you, Winner, and make sure you don't bump into things. Do we need to set up a rope system? Do you guys have a system already?
Winna has a lit lantern but it has like only a tiny bit of light, and she seems to be moving just fine with just that tiny bit of light coming out of the lantern on her hip.
Like a bullseye?
Mm-hmm. But it's only slightly pulled back to only give a sliver of light.
Oh, that's cool.
Shall we in then?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And if y'all could go ahead and drag yourselves onto the map, which we haven't used a map in 6,000 years, and go ahead and oh gosh, do that.
And I want to cast Armor of Agathis.
Okay.
Is the map supposed to be black at the minute?
There should be some amount of showing at the very bottom.
Ah.
Which is-
Remind me how I'm supposed to drag a...
Just click on, instead of opening your character sheet, just click and drag and plop it.
I think I did. I don't know.
I know if I do it, it means you can't control it.
I see it.
Okay.
I see Centagon.
I just... Oh, that would be why. It's not in the right area, but I might have double dragged now, and I don't know where she is.
I don't see you.
Because it's probably pretty far north.
I'm looking at the map and I don't see you on it. So just try doing it again in the light square at the bottom.
When you
No,
drag, you should
yeah.
see it like pick up your character sheet.
Here we go.
Okay,
I made you a knife.
that is appropriate.
I made you an elf. So you enter this. I guess I should give Cardassa a token because I have not yet. Wait, no, she was a flower before. I remember that. Kegger. Did I delete her from the kegger? I think I did. Shoot, I don't think I have a Cordassa anymore. That's fine. So as you enter this this mine, you see, like I said, there is some glintings on the walls, and it looks to be a man-made. There we go. That could be Cordassa. What do you do?
Onwards.
You can't really see super far because there's a couple turns, and there's some places where like it's kind of like the wall's sort of obscure. But you can keep moving forward if you would like. If I can remember where the reveal. There we go. Reveal areas. Okay, so as you go forward, roll me initiative as the guard comes into view.
Oh, dang it. I'm not the best at initiating things.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, unexpectedly good. All right. So it looks like we have Karina. And then we have that person. And then we have Winna. And then we have the other person. And then we have Scrat, can you roll me a 1d4 to see who goes between you and Cordassa first? I guess I can like write roll instead of just type 1d4. That might be helpful. Guys,
Did you want
wait
to
for each
tie?
other.
Is that what you wanted to tie?
Don't roll a 2. All right, so then it's gonna be Centagon and then Cordassa. Alrighty, so first off, we have Karina. This guard that you see before you is a human and has a large maul in his hands. And as he sees you, he snaps to, and it definitely looks like he is ready to get aggressive.
Is he wearing any kind of insignia, like guard?
Nope, but he
Okay.
is wearing armor.
That's fine. We'll do. And there's only one of them?
That you see.
That's fine. Then I'll hit him with the 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me attack rolls, please. Which I believe would be charisma. Okay. First one does not hit, second one does hit.
Okay. So that's a D10 plus force. So-
Okay.
Nope, that's not what I want.
If you click on the word Eldritch Blast in the where the roll is delivered, it will roll damage there.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So he takes the hit and is sort of like looks taken aback. Would you like to move or do any bonus actions?
This is usually where I move a little bit back because I don't want to be the first thing hit. And but I don't think I've got enough room to really move.
Not much. I mean, you could try to, because that where it ends about here is, come on, self. Well, that's where like the tarp is covering the hole. So you could like push your back into the tarp, but you couldn't really go beyond that.
Okay. Then I'll at least move here so that people can get around me if they need to.
Okay.
And as far as a bonus action, I won't do them.
Okay. Next up is as you blast this. Am I stupid? I am stupid. As you blast this this guy, and you can hear it impact. Why can't I pick you up? Give me just a second. I need to figure out what layer I put this person on and why I can't come. There we go. I just move you. I'm having a time. I don't know why I can't move this person. I'll just draw a new one. Someone comes around the corner. Bam. Can I move you now? Is that a possibility? I cannot move my own tokens. I'm going to reload roll 20. But he's going to try to hit you. This person is another human, and instead of a maul, has a glaive. And oh gosh, I'm really zoomed in. And he's going to be hitting. I have moved so many things in my life. Why can I not move this guy? He is going to roll an 11. Does that beat your AC? Okay. He's going to try to hit you again. Can I move you if I make you? Okay, so I'm just going to make this him because apparently roll 20 doesn't like me.
I have no idea. I can't see what layers you're using or anything. You actually get much more complex than I ever do.
Thanks, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's a curse. So he's gonna try to hit you again. And he's gonna crit you. So he's gonna roll double damage. Gonna roll double damage. You're going to take 22 points of damage as he stabs the heckins out of you.
Okay. That's smarts.
Honey. I know. And then next up is going to be Winna.
I didn't like that.
I'm gonna make a new person for this triangle while you're going.
All right.
Oh, 1 minute. He does, he takes damage back
Hellish
How
Rebuke.
much?
from Armor Bagathus.
How much does he take it back?
20 points.
Okay.
That means I'm actually only down 2.
Nice.
Good.
'Cause I had temporary.
Temporary hit points. All right, so it was lying down guy who I can't see who hit Karina.
Yes, lying down guy hits Karina. Can you not see him? Can you see him?
From where I'm sitting, I can't see him.
Right. You can.
Around the corner.
You saw like a flash of light kind of pierce in, and Karina kind of.
All right. right. So what I am going to do is I'm going to shoot.
Okay.
All right.
Are you shooting at the standing up guy or the laying
Yeah.
down guy? Standing up guy? That does not hit.
Yeah. All right. Then I guess I am going to move up.
And then we are on to...
Because I don't feel like shooting another bolt right now with my
That's
cutting
fine.
action.
Goes forward. I just want to delete this triangle now. I'm just not letting me do that either. Whatever. I'm fine. Everything's fine here. And he is going to try to hit you with his maul.
Yeah.
Does a 13 beat your AC?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe 13 is my AC.
Nice. So he hits you twice.
Uh-huh.
Uh, 9 points and 7 points. So it's going to be 16 total. As he at you. And next up is going to be Centagon.
Okay, I'm so ready. There's two of them. Okay. Okay. I'm having another panic. Okay, I'm going to. Can I like? I need line of sight for like acid arrow, right? I can't shoot through people.
I think you can shoot through allied squares, unless that requires like careful casting. But I think you should be able to.
Thank you, Avatar of Wrath, who donates advantages to me, Winner, and Karina. Oh yeah, I should grab across the advantages from the other screen as well. Whoops. I'll do that in a second. Let's do this turn first. Yeah, I'll try an acid arrow then.
Okay.
As soon as I find it, there you go.
Okay, an 8's not gonna hit, but you do have your advantage if you would like to invoke that, unless the rule is you have to say before.
Yeah, I should really call before I roll, so, oops. I just start firing acid arrows into the wall.
Okay. As you tragically miss, and it sort of flies past these, and it starts kind of corroding into the wall, and a couple like little rocks start trickling down from the ceiling, roof, cavern top. It's just a crit fail. It's no worries. Next up is Cordassa, and just a second. What is she gonna do? She is actually going to cast a spell. Which I don't remember what it's called. Don't worry, guys. I do this all the time.
And that was the last we saw of young Timmy.
Okay. So she's going to cast a spell at Winna. And you're going to regain 12 hit points of health. Hit points of health, health points of health. And she is going to go ahead and move up to be between Karina and the homies. And we'll go back to top of the round. It's going to be back up to Karina.
What condition are they in at this point?
They've both been hit.
But okay, that's fine. I'm gonna attack the one. Am I in within melee distance or
You would need to move
to go
up.
through? All right,
Yeah.
I'll just do the Eldritch Blast again.
Okay. You doing it on the glaive or the maul guy?
Whoever I hit, that was the glaive guy first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll me damage for it. Okay. And are you at the level where you get multiple Eldritch Blasts or not yet? Okay, go ahead and roll the next one. That's also a hit. Go ahead and roll me damage. Okay, so that's going to be 19 points of damage. Okay. Alrighty.
Okay.
He yet lives. And it is actually his turn up next. So he is going to scoot back a little bit, and Cordass is going to have the chance to hit him. As to whether or not she can. Right on, lady! She does not carry any weapons, however. So this is just going to be her punching him. But every little bit counts. Hello, sweetie. I know. I love you too. And then he is going to pull a flask out of his pocket and pull a lantern out like off of his hip, and he's going to chug a bit, and he's going to try to do improvise blow fire at Cordassa.
Hey, you leave her alone!
This is bonus to this. Let's do.
I may not know who she is, but she's someone!
Okay, and it doesn't seem to bother her. It seems to make contact, but she kind of like shrugs it off a bit. And she smiles a very tiefling smile at him. And she also turns that smile to Centagon. And it's a very like open smile before sort of catching herself and being back on guard. And we are going to get a winner.
Open smile? Sorry, what?
Yeah. Well, like when you really smile at someone and it's like your whole like face is super open about it, you know? It's one of those smiles.
That's nearly the face you pulled when Puck was possessed. I'm just saying.
Not like creepy smile, but one of those where like you smile with your whole face
Oh,
instead
I
of
see.
just
So
sort of like
if you turn
the
head
smirk.
that way, it's creepy smile, but that way it's happy smile. Got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
it's not one of these, it's one of these.
It's good to know. I'll try and remember that.
Actually, it's really hard for me as a human being to keep my head straight. At the optometrist, I always have to like move because I always just tilt my head. So I hope all of you watching at home just start noticing that all the time, that my head is always slightly off kilter. On to winner.
Well, Winna's going to rapier the guy in front of her a question.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
So if you just click on the word rapier, it should roll it. Heh. And do you have multiple attacks at your level?
Do I? I don't think so.
They don't rogue.
I don't think so. I'm used to. It's like I'm used to having a hand crossbow. I don't have a hand crossbow. With this build.
We are level 7. So not yet.
Yeah, I didn't think I did.
I don't think it. Whatever. Indeed. So was there anything else you wanted to do?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, so we are on to guy with the maul, who will, seeing Cordassa be distracted, try to hit her also. What was his? And hits. Okay. So he hits her and does a little bit of damage. And he's going to try to hit her again. Don't know why I didn't do this 2 times in a row. It's fine. Hits her again. Okay. And he's going to sit where he is. He's pretty happy with where he is. And then we're going to go on to Syntagon.
So one thing I've noticed since we've been in combat, Holly, is you know how you whispered me and said that the thing you gave me was with my staff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for some reason I've deleted my staff out of my inventory, which makes me think I left it somewhere.
You did originally. You left it with Puck at the kegger, and Puck picked it up along with the package. And then when we went to go decapitate Kent, you picked it back up.
Cool. I'll add that back to my character sheet. But what I'll do for now is, realizing that I can miss far too easily using all those other spells, I'm going to use Magic Missile on the person with the maul, because they're scary.
Okay.
No, wait, hang on a minute. Actually, which one was the one that hurt Cordassa?
They both tried to, but the one with the maul is the one that actually landed the blows.
Yeah, he's getting Magic Missiles, all right.
Okay. Is that...
Oh, right. It's just a number equal to spell level, right? Or something like that. Hang on a second. Let's have a look at this.
I can tell. I can fit everything I know about wizards into a thimble. So
Oh, there's so much to control. So, you create 3 glowing darts, and then the darts all strike simultaneously. When you cast this using a spot slot higher, 1 more dart for each spell slot. I have. Okay, so I'll do 3 first of all.
okay.
1, 2, 3. That's Melfacid Arrow. Sorry, wrong spell. Wrong spell. There it
Is it the same modifier in here? Or
No, it's not. It's
straight
just they just auto hit. Yeah, they're magic missiles.
Okay.
I'll cast this at level 2.
Okay, so that's 7 damage.
Yeah, seems that way.
Okay.
Welcome, raiders. Thank you very much, Ascension Stories, for the raid. Welcome in. I hope you guys had a wonderful stream.
We're fighting some things, getting some stuff done.
All the things.
Okay, so it's now on to Cordassa's turn. And she is going to turn into a bear. And she is going to go up to this guy with the glaive and try to bite his face.
Do you know what? I'm impressed that she's done it, but why did she wait so long? Why the big pause?
Ha 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 ha! I like the one with the gin. I'll have a gin and tonic with a big pause. I don't know, man. I was born with them. But also because she was trying to heal. Syntagon. Jeez. Okay. That's gonna hit. And then gonna try to claw. That's not gonna hit. So that is... seven more damage to the man with the glaive, who's starting to look pretty rough. And we're going to go back to the top of initiative and onto Karina, who's muted. Who's still muted.
There.
Don't worry about it. I do it like 3 times a stream. It's fine.
So the one who was attacking me is the one on their face.
Yes.
But if I pass the other one, they'll get an opportunity attack.
Yes.
Okay, so I won't pass. I'll shoot the one closer to me.
Okay.
Do a pew
That is gonna hit.
and a pew.
Okay. So that's 10 damage to the guy with the maul. Do you want to go ahead and roll me the other?
Yeah, if he's still standing.
He is still standing. That is also gonna hit. I know. How can he still be standing? Get him, Valkyrie. Okay, so 6. It's okay. You can just stand in my headphones. 6 more damage, and he is also not looking too happy, but he's still up. And it's going to go on to the guy with the glaive. He's going to try to hit Cordassa again. It's gonna. Oh, you're. Can he barely hit you? Oh god, yes, that's definitely a hit. He's gonna try to hit again. That's definitely a miss. That's 6 damage. Okay. And on to Winna. Who's muted?
I am. Alright, I am going to pierce him a question.
That is gonna hit. So 7. And okay. Okay, rule of the class. Would we consider this flanking?
No. She is not flanking.
Okay. Hexes are always tricky for that.
They do have to still be directly across.
So, how do you want to do this? Are you killing him or knocking him out? Pretending like you're gonna knock him out and killing him? Pretending like you're gonna kill him and knock him out?
I'll be honest that I'm probably pretending like I'm gonna knock him out and then I'm killing him.
Okay, make me either performance or deception roll.
Oh,
You know what? Her aim was just off.
As you go to stab your rapier in, you're like, this should knock you out, and then just like stab right into the heart and pull it back, and there's just like, the blood spurting very graphically as this person falls to the floor. Indeed.
Wow! That was amazing!
And
I can't believe I rolled less than your nat 1.
let's see how Cordassa feels about this. Yeah, she knows what's up. Somehow. And were you wanting to move or anything, or are you sitting pretty?
I am going to let me close that character sheet for the moment. I am going to, you know what, step up over his body.
Okay. You're able to do so, and it is on to Scintgun's turn.
Wow, that was so convincing with the tomato ketchup and everything. I'm so impressed. Okay, there's another one, right? Well, does their body count as a container? No, let's not do that. That's a horrifying thing to even think about. I will firebolt. Bah!
That does not hit.
Oh. I'll just be over here in the corner.
And it will be on to Cordassa, who's still a bear. Just gonna be trying to maul this person. Not gonna hit. Gonna hit.
Her insight was she smelled the blood. It was too real.
I mean, she's a bear right now, so
Exactly.
Okay. So, Cordassa gets up and bites and claws at this young man, and as some blood falls out and she paws to the head, he kind of like and falls unconscious or dies. Who knows?
Don't care.
Who cares? And that is going to be the end of initiative order, as these people are now dead. And Cordassa sort of like snuffle bears like back up to the party. She's not quite unshaping yet.
Okay, everyone used to seeing people turn into bears? Okay, cool.
Which way? And I'm gonna point what little bit I can see of the two directions.
Is there anything on the bodies? Keys? Money's always
Yeah,
good,
I
but
would probably also search the body that I'm standing over.
For looting, roll an investigation.
Yay. I like those. Maybe.
it's less about looting and more about making sure that if they've got a symbol or whatever.
So as you are looking at these bodies, you find some gold. When you get like super distracted trying to find like some sort of insignia to try to figure out like who they are or where they're from, like some ID, something. So you don't really see much of anything on them as you're very specifically looking for that, and you get distracted. Karina, you find some golds, you find their weapons. You remember what Centagon had cryptically said about looking at necks, and you don't like see anything or feel anything. And as you look to the spaces ahead of you, Cordassa doesn't really seem to indicate that she knows one way or the other which way to go, as it branches off into two directions.
I mean, what are you guys a fan of? Always start of the left tunnel unless you find a save point, or
Save point?
safe house?
Oh. Yeah, I always keep my left hand to the wall so that I can hit things with my right if I need to.
Okay, I like that. Should we go left then?
I'm gonna cautiously look around this corner.
Okay. As you cautiously look around the corner, the one sort of behind you, like down to the south.
Yes.
You see a big open chamber. Don't see anything in it. Go ahead and roll me a perception. Okay. So as you're looking around in this this kind of open cavern, you realize the GM didn't make that song loop. As you're looking around, you can see more of the mind sort of framework, and you can see some glinting of gold veins through the wall. But you know gold, and as you're looking, this is absolutely fool's gold. This is not real gold. And you're sort of peering in there, and you don't see really anything that seems like it's been touched in this hole. This offshoot. There are like some mining gear around, but it seems rusty, dilapidated, where like clearly there's people here. this looks like a room, possibly a storage room or possibly a mining room that just like hasn't been used. You can roll me an investigation to sort of gauge like about how long you think it's been since it's been used. If you a while.
Why bother?
Yeah, it's no one's using it. That means it's free game, right? Okay. So as you sort of keep moving on, you see an expanse of open cave, and it again does a branch.
How long you guys been adventuring?
Is
Together.
that what we call it?
I don't know. I'm pretty new at this.
As long as I can remember.
What, you mean like ever since you left college, or?
No, just as long as I can remember.
Oh, okay, well, I only just got out of college.
Okay. What college was that?
The Wizards College.
Guess I should have known.
I specifically trained in war magic and tactics, so if we come across a battalion or a phalanx, don't worry, I know exactly what we should do.
If you know tactics, how come I'm in the front?
Because I'm a wizard.
I cast spells too.
You have armor?
Yeah, some wizards do.
I don't.
Yeah, we'll keep going left.
Okay.
See, look, cloth.
Cloth. There's spells for that.
Oh. I mostly took, the fun ones.
The fun ones.
Yeah, I can make meteors appear and shower all over the place.
That's helpful.
Oh, inside though.
Yeah, we're inside. Does it work here?
Yeah, they go around me like a belt, like kind of like Saturn.
Like Saturn.
Yeah.
Don't know. Is that a style of clothes from the West or no?
I don't know. Yeah. I heard it's from this new designer, Sager. Great guy.
Yeah, okay.
Hang on a minute, how did I get in the front? You like totally tricked me.
I didn't even have to roll deception.
Clever girl.
So we'll keep moving forward.
All right. Roll me a dex save, Centagon.
Oh. Everyone's fleed.
Okay, so as you're sort of like, how did I get in the front? Like, what is this nonsense? And you're sort of like pacing back and forth, trying to decide where exactly to go. You feel something click as your foot steps down and narrowly avoid this bear trap coming out and grabbing onto your ankle.
Whoa! Okay, there's traps!
So you're a thief too?
No!
You detected the trap.
I'm fairly sure this isn't how detection works!
Mine shaft.
Yeah, Winna's usually the one doing that.
Well, why isn't Winner in the lead?
How big is this mine shaft that we're in?
Is it 10 wide?
Oh, it's probably about like 15 feet tall in some places. It kind of like ups and downs, but
Alright. Good to know. Because I might be awful. And start climbing the wall.
Perfect.
All right. And my passive perception is 15, FYI.
Okay. If you want to specifically look for traps, you can roll me an investigation or survival, and based off of your rolls, you may find something, and you may not find something, or you may find some somethings and be lulled into a false sense of security and not find everything.
I'll just be ignorant.
I don't like the sound of that. Why don't we just like... Okay, it'll take a long time, but we could like fireball the next 60 feet worth of like mine, rest for 8 hours, fireball the next 60 feet of mine.
That is a waste of time. She's like starting to climb the wall and keep going and pointing out things as she's looking.
Thank you so much for all the rerolls.
Yeah, we've got some more rerolls come in, and on top of that, we each get 1 temporary HP.
Nice.
Yay, thanks.
I'll give it to my big bad. I'll just keep a tally. So as Winna looks around and is looking, are these boots slippers a spider climb?
Yep.
As you're kind of looking down from your vantage point, you're able to see a couple more teeth among the rocks. Which I have brought forth.
Teeth.
Okay, do you press on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Assume I am on the wall.
Yeah, and for those purposes, you can be in another player's square. You'll be able to be like essentially above them. Syntagon, you should you stay or should you go?
I was just looking to see if Expeditious Retreat gave me any advantage against traps, but it doesn't say so. I guess I'll take another step forward. Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
Roll me a dex save.
God damn it.
Full sense of security, it'll get you. Okay, you're able to juke out of the way again of this trap as it chomps up at you.
Hey, this is working.
Yeah, get in the lead. You're doing great.
Okay, I'll try it again.
Roll me a dex save. Okay, so it chomps you.
No.
Good attempt. But it doesn't. You're not supposed to do it that way.
And you take
Thanks.
12 points of damage. Your keyword restrained, unless you can disable the trap. And it will continue to do bleeding damage over time until you get out of it.
Ow, I'm actually like really hurt.
To get out of it, you can roll, if you have lock picking, you can apply that. I think it's lock picking. You can, or
He
thieves.
obviously has it if he's doing thief work.
Of course. As your bonus to try to jimmy it out, you can also do an athletics if you want to try to break it. That might come with the possibility of hurting him more, or you can do sleight of hand.
To cast Mage Hand and use my Thieves Tool.
Okay.
And that is with Dexterity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you were able to cast Mage Hand, which I believe that takes an action, yes?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So, Syntagon, you're going to take an additional 2 damage, and then you are able to pry this open and sort of like disable it. And Syntagon, you're no longer bleeding, and you may escape the trap.
Ow, I feel like I'm back at level 1. I guess I'll heal myself. Just gonna start rubbing it better. Is that
Okay.
it? Is that 18? Are you joking me? 18? Okay. I cast that
mean-
at level 3, goddammit.
That's only slightly less than the damage, or slightly more than the damage you took. So
Yeah, I guess. I just rolled really poorly.
okay.
I don't want to move now.
I know, me neither.
He keeps finding all of these traps.
There might be a reason why I am on the wall.
Yeah, I really wish I knew that one.
I can fly, but I don't think I want to hit my head in here either.
I'll keep on walking forwards.
Roll me a dex.
Oh god, why?
Excellent.
Oh.
You are going to take 13 damage, and your keyword restrained, and you are going to take ongoing bleeding damage until such a time as you escape from the trap.
Okay, I'm looking at my spells. I've had enough of this bullshit.
Can I continue to use my Mage Hand with Thieves tool?
Yep. You still have it cast, so you don't need to
Yes.
recast it. You just need to do the thieves tools.
Okay, thank you.
Did it do? No.
It has not yet done that voodoo it do. You're able to get it slightly open, but not quite all the way. You're going to take 2 more points of damage, Centagon, and you can roll with Thieves' Tools again. Since you already have it slightly open, I'll go ahead and give you advantage on it to get it the rest of the way open. Okay, so you're able to get it the rest of the way open, and Centagon, you're able to escape out of this trap.
Right, that's it. I'm gonna firebolt the next 5 feet in front of me, wait 6 seconds, and then firebolt the next space.
Okay.
I swear to God, I'll set this whole place on fire.
What's triggering them? Is it pressure?
Pressure. So as you
I could do that with Eldritch Blast. I could do
Yes.
1 per square and hit the second. I could do 2 per turn.
okay.
Yeah, we can clear like 15 feet at a time that way.
Yeah, let's give that a shot. I'll start.
As you start spell lawnmowing your way through, you do a couple Eldritch Blasts and Centagon is just like Firebolt. And as you cast Firebolt, as it sort of like hits the ground, it doesn't really do anything. I'll get you. You went into the darkness. There you go.
That's an unfortunate thing. That was not intended.
And I'm going to need Winna to make me a dex save.
Okay.
Okay. So the firebolt hits the squares or hexes ahead of you, and as it ignites, have you ever seen Backdraft?
Oof.
And only it's like it seems to be the gases up top, and you're going to take 16 fire damage as the ceiling kind of sparky ignites and fire sort of rolls over it, and you can see it sort of rolling back behind you. And it is bright enough that you can see down in that room where there was not much of anything. It seems to sort of ignite down into the ground.
Whoops.
No more fire.
And
Yeah.
everybody roll me an investigation.
I can't message the tiles clear, damn it.
Okay. So I guess you can. Well, you're a bear. You're probably not investigating shit. So as you you see this happen, and the two Eldritch Blasts go off, and you have like the next space cleared ahead of you. When you get this burn, and as this flash of light and fire is illuminating around you, you see the glints of where all the traps were, and you look ahead and you don't see any more. You are very confident that there are no more of the same type of trap anywhere near you.
All right, we're clear of the bear traps.
You know what I just realized?
And we have a bear.
That I can do that mage hand thing.
Just pat the ground as you go. Have a stompy mage hand moving. Bud.
Like I said, it was one of my first times out.
So you keep moving on.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast healing on myself again.
Okay.
This time just at level 1. I'll just
You're
do
a
a little.
thief, a cleric, and a wizard.
No.
Okay.
You see a bend up ahead of you.
If you do need any healing, though, let me know. I've still got some spell slots left.
And as you get to this corner, you see where that purple line is. You see something sort of shining on the ground. Your lantern isn't quite to you yet, and there's no torches left in here. So with dark vision, it just looks like it's something like wet. And it's on like the walls and the floor.
Does it look very clean?
Does it look very clean? It does not look very clean. And you look in, and as your light source gets a little closer, you can see it looks like it's kind of like almost a purplish red, like kind of a maroon color. It looks slick.
Lynette, do you have any of those little ball bearings?
I do.
Can you
Mage
check
hand
that
them.
out? Yeah, I don't know what that is.
So you just throwing one in there?
Yep.
Okay. Move yourself to 999 ball bearings. You throw it in there, and it tink tink, and like it sort of makes almost like a wet tinking noise as it kind of bounces a little bit and rolls. You see that it's picking up whatever this material is on its surface, but it doesn't seem to be. Nothing seems to be like getting at it.
Is there a smell associated with it?
Roll me a perception. Not really. This whole place smells kind of dank, undergroundy, dusty ground, earthen.
But nothing different as far as I know.
You can't really smell anything, no. Nor can Winna. Centagon, roll me a perception. Tell me what your elf nose smells. I know you're not an elf.
Oh, damn.
Okay, maybe you are an elf. You just have the nose. First you had the hand of an elf, now you have the nose of an elf. So as you're sort of seeing everyone like, then you're sort of like, also, it sort of smells like, I want to say blood and jello. And that is what it smells like. It is not a very pleasant smell. It's sort of like if they made like that slime stuff that people had as kids, but also poured blood all over it.
Syntagon will have a good sniff. Assume that everyone else smells the same as him. What exactly are we sniffing for?
Dead stuff?
Bad stuff like...
No, like dead.
Oh, dead stuff.
But I don't know what I'm smelling, so
Smells like dank mine.
I mean, it kind of smells like the necromancy staff room.
what was
Sorry.
in the
Well, jelly and blood.
all right.
Okay.
So it's just all over the floor?
It's all over the floor and over the side of the wall where that purpleness is. It's not on the other wall, but there are some clear spaces. You'll definitely have to step over this sort of where it runs out in the line across it.
Okay. I don't want to touch it.
Okay. You can step carefully over it.
Look, I touched a lot of the bear traps. I don't want to touch it either. I could get my mage hand to touch it. I'd like to create a mage hand that comes out and just...
Are you trying to scoop it or okay, boop it? You boop it and you can see this stuff sort of stick to it. It doesn't seem to be struggling to pull away. It's just sort of like if you dipped your finger in paint where it's still on the tip.
Oh, it's sticky!
I don't want
Probably
to
back
know.
now that I have my mage hand come back and give me back my thieves' tools so that it can disappear because it's probably been about a minute.
Disappear.
I'm gonna
So are you just
wipe-
dipping it or are you gonna look at it afterwards?
I'm just gonna dip it, then wipe it on the wall afterwards.
Okay. The clean wall or the wall that's also coated with this stuff?
Clean wall.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and bloop. So you wipe it on this clean wall.
Oh, it comes off okay, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Should we try setting it on fire?
No.
No.
If we can get around it, I want to try.
Yeah, there's enough space around here where you can go around it. It's pretty much just filling up these couple. Okay.
Okay.
So as you come into the cavern proper, you can see that it goes on for a while. And roll me a survival, perception, or investigation as you're looking around this room.
I would like to investigate specifically the ooze.
Okay.
That's an awful investigate.
It is less viscous than you thought it would be. Both of those are pretty good perceptions. As you're perceiving around the room and looking at things, it seems like this isn't just painted on the walls. It looks like it was sort of if you've ever thrown paint on a wall, how it splatters, and it seems to be going as though it was splattering up the side of the wall. So not like it was a paintball gun that you just fired at the side of the wall, but it looks like it started from a low place and sort of got exploded up the wall. The parts where it's on the ground, there's a decent amount. It seems as you're looking around that it's the room is slightly sloped and the stuff has settled into the lower parts of the room. And you notice with that 24 that there is a scrap of paper kind of mixed in with the rubble on the floor, slightly covered in this stuff, like just around the corners of it.
Also, I think I forgot to mention that you got donated another 7 temporary HP, Holly.
Cordessa never gonna die. Or my big bad's never gonna die.
Distrust.
Bear trap's never gonna die. DC of disarming the bear trap is now gone up by 8.
Syntagon, there's something that you might want to use your mage hand to pick up.
Okay.
And she's gonna point at it.
Okay. You can see this this little scrap of paper.
Oh, paper. Why would I need a mage hand for that?
Because it's covered in the goop.
It does
Oh.
have the goop on it.
Oh, okay. I'll pick it up with a mage hand and shake it off.
It sort of splats around a little bit and drips off a little bit. And you can, like, it looks like there's something written on it.
Okay, let's pull it close then. Have a look.
Okay, so as you're looking at it, roll me Arcana. Arcana for a wizard. Sorry, a cleric, rogue. Okay, so with the 21, you are looking at this piece of paper, and you can tell it's a spell. It's not complete. It looks like it's a very long, complicated spell, and you're sort of can pick out some of the bits of it. Like, you've studied spells, you know, like the arcane scribblings, and it's something to do with binding. Sort of like you just accidentally were binded to this celestial being earlier, and something to do with transmutation.
Is it anything to do with the spell that I learned in the tower before? The Kent's Quaint Containment?
No, it looks to be in a different handwriting. It doesn't use the same language.
Oh.
What language is it?
Arcane, runic, like the language of the wizards.
Okay.
There are some parts that are sort of scribbled in the margins of what languages do you speak?
Me, lots of the creepy stuff.
I speak a few. Celestial's runic,
Sylvan.
right? Oh, Sylvan. Okay.
Oh, it's Sylvan? Okay.
Mhm. There are some scribblings in the side, like make sure your gestures are wide enough, and like one target only, like underline and stuff like that, that just seemed to be like somebody who was like adding extra instruction to what it is. Without the entire spell, you can't really figure out what it's doing.
I think there's some of this missing. Maybe we can find another half of the sheet or something, or a book it came from.
Alright.
Can I make a check? I have hold person. I don't know if it's close enough to what this is, but
I totally know what hold person is off the top of my head.
you said binding and restraint, so I didn't know if
Binding is in an accord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the fun kind. No. So you're so what you want to do? You could also arcana it if you feel so inspired, of course.
Sure. May I see it?
Yeah, sure. I'll take the mage hand over and put it right in front of Karina's face.
Okay. You're able to tell a lot of the same things. You're from Mozani, right?
Yeah.
As you're looking at it, you also can tell that this is definitely paper from regions you're familiar with,
Okay.
which seems very out of place, seeing as we're at the opposite end of the
And
entire
here
continent.
in cave, remind, yeah.
Mhm.
I let them know. This paper's not a local thing. It's from some plant, I don't know. Some plant, some binding from out west. Is it the material or the construction of it?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
There's usually the stuff that would be made in the mountainous region would be things like seaweed pulp and like some like pine tree type, like more like the hardy, whereas paper that's coming from the west from the forest would be more kind of like
Proper wood pulp.
yeah. I was like the trees with leaves, not needles.
Okay.
Deciduous. All I could think of was coniferous and pine trees, and I'm like, not
No,
everything.
this is proper paper.
Yeah.
You said you're a wizard, thief,
Wizard.
trap detector.
I think that's just my leg.
Okay, but as a wizard, you guys make paper spells and books, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've got a spellbook right here, and this one here. But I
And it's
shouldn't
got
have
real
this one.
paper in it, right?
Yeah.
This is real paper. It's hard to get around here.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of certain quality.
What is it, like vellum or something?
It's velumite.
Good gods.
Yeah.
Well, that's suspicious, but it doesn't really change our plan, right? We still need to find.
No, it's
More?
just strange and out of place.
I agree.
Anything the two of you see as you see farther down?
Nope.
No,
No.
it seems to be pretty empty. As you're looking around. Thank you for the sub.
Thank you, Tyron Cross, for the sub. That is 2 months at tier 1. Thank you very much. Next month you get a new badge. Thank you.
As you're looking around the room, there's just more of this stuff. Did you say right? You got crappy for that. I've heard it. I was like, somebody was investigating the ick, but yeah, it wasn't a good roll. Okay, so you don't really see any more papers.
Alright, I guess we're gonna go the other way.
Okay.
Being as I'm not close enough to investigate the ick.
You can be close enough. You can.
I'm sure I can.
There is a spot on the wall where Syntagon left a finger mark that you can investigate.
Let me.
That was totally planned.
Totally planned.
Syntagon, always the helper.
Sartagon, do you have any old potion bottles or anything? This stuff might be something we want to look into later.
Or any spells you can cast to contain a liquid for a duration. Quaintly.
I know a spell.
I've got a water skin, but it'll ruin it probably.
I need to just touch an object capable of encirclement or enclosure. Possible objects include rooms, chests, rings, loops of yarn, etc. And for the duration of the spell, anything contained within the enclosure cannot leave its containment.
How long does that last?
You know, I kind of learned this spell off a wall. I know it takes 1 minute to cast.
No.
What grades did you get in wizard college?
I got E and a D. Effective and dangerous.
There are other ways of learning magic that don't require all that memorization.
Duration's 10 hours.
Thank you. I saw it just then, but I thought I'd leave it now. It'll last 10 hours. We can hold it forever. Do you have a bit of string?
Hair?
That'll do, I guess.
Give us the
Great.
loop.
I'm out of
Just-
twine.
Make a loop. Cast containment on it, and whoop.
Actually, I've got rope. I'll give you a piece of the rope.
Oh, I got so far with this with the hair.
Okay.
Alright, no, it's fine. I'll take rope.
So it's sort of like if you're doing it with the hair, it's very thin. It's almost like where you have like the colored glasses where it's just sort of that like plastic. But it's all like contained in the hair, and you're able to like, if you want to put it on your skin, it won't like get out. It won't actually touch you. It's contained within the walls of the hair circle. If you'd like to do it with rope also, then you will get slightly more. But same rules apply.
Oh, well, I mean, we can. I mean, it doesn't say that this is concentration spells, so
It's not.
It lasts 10 hours.
yeah,
Okay.
I can do it on the rope as well. Oh, hang on a minute. It's a level 3 spell slot though. I only had one of those.
Then don't keep casting.
Yep. Yep. Keyword had. I didn't think ahead. But
Is that the
hey,
end of the room there? Is the south side of that room the end, or is that a tunnel?
It is the end. I'm sorry, that's barely not revealed. Also, Syntagon, if you have ritual casting and you cast that as a ritual, I believe it does not consume your spell slot, unless I'm on crack. Bless you.
That's all right. It
Because
just
then,
takes
like-
like a couple minutes.
Because containment is a ritual spell if you'd like to cast it ritualistically.
yes, I'll cast it ritualistically. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Great. Well, yeah, we can have a rope of it. We can have a string of it. Let's get a. Has anyone got a lunchbox? We can have a lunchbox worth of it.
No.
No. Okay. So
Alright.
are we heading back down past the bear traps to the last split?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're able to avoid the bear traps now that you know where they are and that they hurt like
And that they've all been sprung.
uh-huh. And you see more ahead of you.
Can you see?
The walls ahead. Don't remember if that's okay. You can't see that. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I meant, interesting. So there's a passage ahead of you.
There's a passage ahead.
Oh.
Why was that
would
passage
like to-
trapped when all it did was go to nothing but a weird pool?
Well, then I am going.
Random DM fight, or is there treasure to be had?
We have no idea.
You could roll me an insight or investigation about it. Hey, so traps, sketchy room, magic probably being done. It may not have been to keep people away from something precious, but to keep a spell that was being cast uninterrupted.
Okay.
Now, as to whether it went right or wrong, who knows? Perception, what are you percepting?
Traps.
Or investigating? Traps. Okay. So as you sort of make your way up here, you can see holes along the walls for the next little bit. And you, being no stranger to being in sticky situations, probably like some arrow traps, probably.
Hang on. Drop down.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Are we Arnie crawling this?
Literally, she crawls over because she sees where it starts. She starts crawling over and grabbing her thieves' tools.
As you get close to it, you can see the trigger is it's like maybe like 4 inches off the ground are like very thin strings that go across.
Then she's just gonna go over there and start untying strings.
Okay. I'm not really gonna make you roll for that because I assume, I mean, you've been on the ocean, you know how to do knots and stuff.
Yeah.
You're able to untie it, and as you do untie these strings, moving along, you
Should I just move myself up to here?
you're able to just disarm that trap
Okay.
and press on.
Is it?
See,
More than one
Syntagon,
square?
that's how you're supposed to do it.
It's sort of like a series of strings that you can just sort of see as you go along and keep sort of doing it.
I still say if we set fire to everything, it would have worked.
And I'm gonna stand up.
I need a Cordassa Wrangler because I'm not doing a good job of it.
R.
How
Okay.
is Cordassa through all of this? Is she still...
She's still a bear.
She's still a bear. Okay.
She's ready for things to go wrong, as
As they
any
should.
bear is. Yeah. Okay, so this opens up a bit more, and you see it going off in 2 more directions.
Yay!
Crawling through the mines tonight.
Left.
If we follow the rule, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good rule.
It keeps you from getting lost.
Or losing track, definitely.
Go back to climbing up.
Yeah. Keep going on. And as you sort of edge across, you can see some water. Or no, it's water. It looks-
Water-like substance.
Yes, water or water-like substance. That is a good one.
You know,
It is- It appears to be water.
I'm getting reminded of a time I was in a tower and we found a room full of sand, and a room full of water, and then a room full of lava, and then a room full of corpses.
So it was a party house.
It was like a wizard tower.
Oh, well, that's normal. You'll have one like that one day, right?
I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of the corpses. Not that I've got anything against the undead or anything, or the dead, or the living, or you know, it was kind of spooky.
Oh, just wait if stuff gets real.
Oh boy.
So are you approaching the water? You turn in and
I'm not gonna get right up on it.
Well, I have
But-
a lantern, so. Do you want me to cast Mage Hand again?
Yeah, let's just see if we can confirm that nothing is gonna come out behind us when we leave.
Alright, I cast Mage Hand and have it poke at the water.
as it pokes at it, it seems distressingly gelatinous.
That's not good.
It does not it is not a fluid. It is, as the term goes, a lol squid, where it's this semi-solid, jiggly. And as you sort of poke it a bit harder, you can see it kind of ripple, but it seems to be almost in like cube formation.
Baby gelatinous cubes. What does the walls and floor look like around here?
Normal. Well, mine, like that you have the structures, you have like the
But-
veins running through it.
Nothing extra clean, nothing.
Super smooth.
Nope. Just distressingly like slightly larger than like an extra large Rubik's cube size of entities that ripple when you poke hard enough with the mage hand.
Light it with fire.
You sure? I thought we
That's
weren't
fair.
going ahead with the fire.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
I mean, I had this really great idea. If
What?
we get 2 hairs and we do the containment thing, then we could make shoes out of the fluid and we could just walk across. Okay, you want me to fireball it? I'll fireball it.
A fireball? No. Like a
Oh.
bolt.
Oh! Well, I mean, I can go smaller than a firebolt if you want to go smaller.
Tiny.
Tiny? Okay, what's the smallest amount of fire I have?
What were you using to set off traps?
That was firebolt. Yeah, I was just seeing if I had anything smaller. Firebolt.
Okay. So, are you trying to make it as small as possible or as fire as possible?
Well,
What does a critical success mean for you in this instance?
I think, I think possibly some of the warlockiness, because Firebolt and Eldritch Blast are kind of similar, and I now have both. I think maybe the critical hit is double damage because both go off at the same time.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me the damage in.
But conveniently, they both do the same dice worth of damage, even if they do different. Where have I put the dice roller? There it is. Rubbish thing. Whoa!
God. Okay. So as you try to like start these small fires, it instantly becomes just engulfed in flame. There's that similar effect where it's sort of ballooned up on the ceiling again, where it seems like some gas you can't see has been ignited. But additionally, all of this water is catching fire, and these little like cubes seem to sort of jump almost as though they're boiling, and this really horrid screaming just fills the air as it sounds like as all of these things are on fire. My cat just looked at me like I committed a sin. As all of these things quickly become ignited, and some of them start sort of bouncing out toward y'all.
Can I quickly have a look for any spell pages that might be anywhere?
Roll me a perception.
It's not bad.
So with this illumination, you do not see any. You are also an intelligent fella and know that if any was within the containment of these things, it would be 100% on fire.
That's I'm looking for them for that reason, because I might be able to save them if I see them before they catch fire.
You do not see any in here. If you're looking, you don't really. Whereas the other was kind of a big chamber, you know that's sort of best, especially if you're performing questionable spells that may go wrong or right. Seeing as there were extra instructions written in, you'd imagine the person would want kind of a large training room. Judging by what you've seen, this seems to curl in pretty close. You don't think there's a very big cavern on the other side, so there's probably not as big of a casting room. And you see no pages.
And I saw the Eldritch Blast part of that too.
Mm-hmm. It was sort of like a large kind of firebolt, but inside there was sort of this. I always picture it as being like almost like a sound wave, kind of like a sort of ripple of force in the middle of it.
It's like 5 or 6 classes at this point.
Useful.
I'm just a wizard. We study lots, okay?
Not with that. No, I know that.
It was just a fireball.
No, it wasn't. You're hiding something.
I don't mean to be. Oh, that's on fire.
Yeah.
Yay, fire.
I think I'm gonna come and start moving back that way. Thank you. Get away from the fire.
Cordassa is 100% about that getting away from the fire life.
Uh-huh.
And as you sort of move backwards, everyone roll me a perception.
Okay.
I have not moved backwards.
Not bad, but not great.
Another
Okay.
15.
Nice. So you're kind of keeping an eye and looking at the fire, and you glance back at everybody and notice that Syntagon, that is, I guess I should use my words correctly. Notice that they're coming really close to a poorly covered hole in the ground.
Hey, watch out! Behind you!
Trap detection.
Trap detection.
And he didn't
And-
fall in.
These flaming cubes are going to start launching themselves at you if you do not move, or are you kind of just shuffling back and looking?
Who's Centagon?
Mm-hmm.
When you say cubes of flame, oh, you mean like
Mhm.
they are gelatinous cubes?
They are cubes
But
of flame.
really tiny.
Oh, but they're kind of cute. I kind of just want to get one and put it in a box. No, okay, I'll start walking, I guess. I mean, you know, tiefling, fire resistance. I know a lot of fire spells.
It doesn't seem to. It also seems to be that something inside of that is not made of fire. That is screaming like its soul is leaving its body.
It'll be fine.
So you skirt and reveal more of a hallway.
We're not in combat now, though, right?
Correct.
Not
And
unless
then-
you want to start pinataing them.
Well, no, I'm just thinking that there's a lot of flammable material around. I can use control flames to fan the fire and make it much worse for them.
Awesome.
I mean, there's also kind of a layer of fire now over your heads. It hasn't yet started to make the cave hazy.
I'm popping down.
Oh,
Okay.
I need to make an intelligence save because I've just realized something that Syntagon hasn't. We might run out of oxygen!
It is quite fire.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of fanning the flames, I start every 6 seconds using control flames to start putting out the flames. Putting out the flames.
So, as you start trying to do this, are you starting with the ceiling or are you starting with the things behind you? They're the little cubies.
The ceiling.
The ceiling. You manage to get like patches out, and then as more of this gas like touches and fills up the space, it just catches on fire again. So you are putting it out, but then it is reigniting once
Go
it is.
back to the entrance.
We could go back to the entrance. but then we might lose whatever's down this...
Alright, she's going.
Cordassa galumphs as a bear, and as she's sort of galumphing, she shifts back into being a tiefling, and she kind of calls back, if we go quickly enough, we might be able to make it through, or to a safer spot. I have to get through here.
Yeah, okay, or we die. Okay, let's do this.
All right.
I'm not nervous, you're nervous.
Okay. So moving right along. Make me a perception roll.
Sure.
I'm looking on my spell list for perception. I'm not gonna find it there.
No.
Okay,
No.
so with a 17 will work, because these are pretty easy to spot. You see another of those pitfalls.
Careful.
You may squeeze around it, one at a time, and you make it around, and you can see kind of where it hooks back up to your original location.
Wow.
Oh, we already found the one spell? Kind of seems anticlimactic. Wait! There's another tunnel!
And make me another perception. This will be the last one, I swear, maybe.
No, it's not.
I'm proud of Syntagon. His perception checks have been consistently above 12.
Oof.
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 Well, I wasn't paying attention. I'm not on the wall.
Okay. So, as Cordassa is hurrying along, she manages to step into this hole.
Oh.
Oh, thank God. And manages to sort of catch it at the last moment and kind of vault herself over the pit trap. The pits. Can I select
tiny
this?
little pits.
The tiny pits. They're like 5 feet across. That's that's
Compared
Is there
to
anything
some-
inside of them?
as you're looking down, it just seems to be deep. Probably like 30 feet deep. So that would hurt if you were to hit the bottom.
Important safety tip. Thanks, Egon.
Mhm.
Okay, so make me a dexterity save.
Who?
Karina.
Oh, okay.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Yes, just like there we go. So another hole is ahead of you. And as you start to fall, Centagon shoots off a spell very quickly, and you seem to drift down to the bottom, and you land down this hole.
You okay?
I'm fine. First off, is there anything down there?
There's a book.
Oh. I will look at the book.
Okay. The title of it is A Theory on Transference.
And am I someplace that's connected to the other holes? Or is this just
It
its
is.
own hole?
Just its own hole.
Okay. I'll grab the book. And does it look like I can... Is there something that I could climb out?
You could try to roll in athletics to climb your way out of it.
That's not happening.
You could try. If you got a 20, you might get lucky and find it.
No, she's kind of sickly. She wouldn't try.
You have feather forecast on you for the next minute, so as long as you fall in the next minute, you won't hurt yourself too bad.
I just throw my end of the rope down.
Oh, yeah, that's such a practical solution.
Okay,
I'm not
I'll try it for the first few feet. If I can't do it, I'll fly out.
Okay.
So, what do you, athletics roll?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this isn't going to go well.
Good. You do have advantage. Would you like to use one of your advantage rolls?
Actually, can I try acrobatics? Can I, like, parkour up?
Mm-hmm. Did you want to do it with advantage or no?
No, I should be able to do the dex without. It's not great, but
You're able to get most of the way up. You are going to take some damage as a couple times you hit against the wall in places and kind of cut up your hands, but it's not going to be too bad.
okay.
I would like to start looking down the other, like, oh no wait, I don't know that they've got the book yet. I'm gonna be like, did you see anything?
I have the book.
Which side are you coming out on?
I'm going to come out on the side that we have.
Okay.
Where the rope was.
Yeah, I'm not coming out here. Let's just be that clear.
So
Go
as she comes up, you see that she has a book.
Hey, is that?
Hey,
I see you have a book there.
yeah, what? It's on transference.
Transference in Genasi and things like that.
I'll take a look before I hand it over.
So as you're looking at it, it seems to have a lot of like arcane bits in it. It seems to be a textbook. As you flip to the back, you see sort of like an about the author of Gyrus Switchleaf is the name on it. And you flip through a couple pages looking at it, and most of it is written in common, but there are also parts that are written in do you know Primordial?
No.
In some other language. Nice. And you can sort of look through. It seems to have a bunch of passages on Genasi, elementals, and how into it are you looking? Are you just sort of like flipping through and then handing it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get about that, and then you hand it over to Syntagon.
Oh, I wonder if there's more down the other holes. I'll be right back. And Syntagon's gonna go dashing down the tunnel to go and look at the look in this one.
You don't see anything down there?
It's shimmy around the hole and run over to this one.
Okay, I will remind you that the ceiling is very much on fire as you're doing this.
I mean, I might be getting lightheaded, but
glance down the other one.
From the glare of the fire, you don't see anything down that hole either.
because of the glare of the fire, is it like I can't see, or I can see and there's nothing there?
You can see and there's nothing there. I mean,
Okay,
you have
damn.
dark vision anyway, so you could see, but and you said you were looking down the hole that Cordasa stepped over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have human eyes, so go ahead and roll me a perception.
I do have human eyes,
Human eyes.
Stupid.
but I do not have to take disadvantage for this.
You could roll with advantage. You don't have to. But you could. Nice. So as you look down, you see another book in there.
Is it still within the first minute of the Featherfall?
I have boots.
That's
I
true.
Can just walk down.
Well.
Are you getting the book then?
I'm grabbing a book
Okay.
and I'm gonna go walk down.
Okay. Your book is called Cornered in Desperate Times.
Somebody has a sense of humor as I walk back up.
and Sintagon, you come back around the corner to see Winna walking back up the side of this.
Those other the holes don't have any books in.
Hand you the book.
Thanks. What does this one say?
That one says Cornered in Desperate Times, a memoir by Puck.
By Puck.
By Puck.
Huh. If only I knew who that was.
By whomst indeed, chat. By whomst indeed. And looking sort of at this book as you pass it over, it seems to be some sort of like memoir dealing with war and desperate situations and desperate measures. There's no picture on the back of it. On the back of Theory on Transference, there's a picture of a fairly stern-looking shifter woman. And you are walking to the other side.
I'd like to jump across.
Okay. It's just 5 feet. You can make it. As you reach the other side and you run up a little bit, you reach... I skipped a bit. You reach the pit, and there are some marks around the pit where those red dots are. It seems like there was a bit of a struggle here. If you would like to look at it further, you may investigate it for me.
Does it have a big sign that says "The Pit" with exclamation marks that makes us feel like we should pronounce it like "The Pit"?
The pit. No, it does not.
Oh, that's a shame.
It does have like a very small post that has like warning, and that's all it says.
Oh.
But you, by all means, may call it the pit. Okay. So, with a 14 investigation, there's not really blood. You get the idea that nothing was like killed here or dead here. You can tell that there's like several like different footprints, and they're moving in strange ways. With an 18 investigation, as you're sort of looking further, you're kind of backtrack following this groove where this heavy piece of furniture seems to have moved, goes up to the pit, and you're seeing a couple of different sets of footprints as well, and they seem to sort of not get dragged into the pit, but definitely get to the edge of the pit. Before they, like, you're looking at kind of the walls, like, because you have these boots, it's not, or your friend has these boots, it's not like they're walking on the walls. And then with the 20, as you're looking at these footprints, you can very much, you know who this is from. This is from the 3 that you saw chasing after this bookcase, and you sort of like peer a little bit into the pit, and you can tell that there's no ropes, there's no like signs of them like being like dragged down or falling down, and can't really see much beyond the other side of the pit. But there is an other side there. It does eventually stop being a pit.
Well, this seems important.
Cordasa kind of looks back kind of over her shoulder, and she says, I don't think we want to go down there.
Down the hall or down the pit?
Down the pit.
No, I don't think so either.
And she kind of casts her eyes back up at the ceiling and says, I don't think we should tarry long, though.
Syntagon looks up.
On fire.
Oh!
And smoky. Is
Oh, I'll
starting
put
to
out
get
some
smoky.
more of that with the control flames.
Okay. You just wall walk in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can wall walk. Nothing comes out at you, nothing tries to get you.
Alright.
Hmm.
I drop one end of my rope on this side. And then carry
Like-
it across.
On the far side?
Yeah.
Or on the side with Syntagon and such?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
And then I walk across.
is anybody picking up that part of the rope? Or
I'll hold
I'm
on
gonna
to it.
cast. What?
I can hold on to it, I don't mind.
I'm gonna cast fly on the three of us.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
hey.
If she's already across,
Okay.
that's. Hold on. Actually, I think I can only do it for two. Me and someone else. One additional creature for each slot of the third, and I've got fourth level. So
are you talking this out?
yeah, I can cast it on two of us.
Cordassa kind of shrugs and says, I can always make myself fly. And she kind of shifts and turns into this very, very pretty, like almost jeweled butterfly that's this lovely teal color. And she just sort of flits her way across.
Okay. Then we have fly for 10 minutes.
Okay, well, I didn't know you could do this!
Because I didn't tell you.
I didn't know it was a spell!
There is more water
Probably not
pulled
water.
up. Probably not. And then
Oh, I can't
This
wait till I learn
continues
delayed
on.
fireball.
Plasty. Oh, it'll catch fire soon enough.
that it will. That it will. Okay. Pressing on to the rule of the left.
If only I had a big hoop.
Wrangle them varmints. And
Oh, Cordassa's on it. She's like storming ahead. Cordassa, you
she
okay?
is. She's a butterfly. So she doesn't respond. She'll sort of perch like on the edge of your horn for a minute and sort of like do the wing foldy thing and then keep flitting on. And you reach. Before I reveal this, I'm going to say that these tokens are not accurate.
And before you reveal that, I'm going to use the Rod of the Pack Keeper, since that was my last slot. So
Okay.
I'm going to get one of my slots back.
Okay. You see a room full of crap. Not literal crap, but weird stuff. There's like lamps that seem to end in table legs, like torches that seem to end in table legs. There are some books that are like half book, but then they just turn into a brick. There are pictures that seem to be a picture on half of it and then just sort of turn into like a swirling crystal ball on the other half. It seems to be a bunch of like if you just took like part of an item and glued it to another item and glued it to another item and just sort of set it in here. There doesn't really seem to be a rhyme or reason to how this is organized. It just seems to be lots of stuff.
Right.
Some of them are weapons, but it'll be like the blade of a sword on one part, and then it just has a head of an axe where the hilt should be.
Wow, a treasury.
Sure.
This is nonsense. All right, what do we need here? And I'm gonna look at the butterfly.
And if we were supposed to go through here, this would be the end.
Are you making any sort of checks as you're moving through here?
No, I'm riding through. It's a treasury.
I'm not running through.
Are you making any sort of checks?
Perception for one. So let's roll that.
Who'd put traps in a treasury?
Centagon, go ahead and just for shiggles, roll me a stealth roll. I know you're not trying to be stealthy, but I'm curious how loud you are here in your general movement. Okay.
Hey, them cloth clothes and cloth shoes, they help out sometimes.
I just imagine, like, you know how sometimes you put those little felt bits on the end of furniture to not scratch wooden floors? You just put one, like, on the bottom of your high-heeled hooves and just...
That's exactly what happened.
So with a 25 perception, which is a critical roll in perception, you see everything. But we'll start with a 13. You see, as described above, and you're kind of looking around, and every so often out of the corner of your eye, you feel like you see something move, but then every time you look at it, it seems to not be moving anymore. With a natural 20 in this perception, you see what looks like potentially part of the rest of that book you found here on the far edge. And the pages seem to be fluttering as though an unseen air movement is coming past it. The flames, too, seem to be kind of staying away from the far end over here of this chamber. And as you're sort of peering through and you're like, wait, I think that's kind of what we're looking for with the rest of this spell book, as Centagon is frolicking through, you also see it looks like it's like starting to be a stool, but then turns into like a mounted moose head. It just sort of very casually kind of drifts off to one side. Nothing that you can see is moving it. You are muted.
Centagon, check your 6. Look for the book.
Oh, look for the book. Okay, I'll investigate. The book.
The book.
The book.
The book.
The book.
Can I find the book?
Yeah, it's this one right here.
Oh, great. Well, I'll just go and grab it.
Okay.
Meanwhile, while I still have some fly left, I want to check out.
That thing.
Yeah.
Okay. As you get close to it, you see it kind of bump into this lamp type thing that's next to it, which is really like starts to be a candelabra, and it turns into like a writing table, and it kind of like bumps past.
It's like the land of misfit furniture.
You can roll investigation, arcana, or yeah, one of those two, investigation or arcana, to look into it more. Valkyrie, you have such a cute tail, and it's incredibly in the way. So it's a 15 arcana. You're kind of looking around. You don't see any runes on these things. You don't see any caster that might be making a move. So it seems as though they're just moving on their own.
Right. Do we have everything we need?
Cordassa goes up to this wall, and she disappears as she seems to fly into it. That space where you had seen the air sort of moving from.
tonight after the lady paying us.
After the Lady Butterfly. So go ahead and make a perception as you get to this wall. So that we don't just smack into the side of a wall.
Aw.
I mean, it's still possible. Okay. You were able to. Syntagon kind of hits the side of the wall a little bit. The rest of you just sort of look at him and just clearly walk through where the false wall is. And Cordassa turns to you and she says, "This goes up. I'm not sure what's going to be on the other side. But if you follow me, there's no turning back." And she seems to pause for a minute and she says, "I don't know who's right. I don't know if it's Gyra and that this is for the greater good, but I believe that knowledge is essential, and I leave the choice to you. You can follow me, and you might hate what you find, and things might be destroyed, and we could all be doomed. You can stay here and go on with the lives you've been leading."
Well, but I still don't know who you are.
That's awfully dramatic.
She kind of gives a look and says, "These are dramatic times, my friend." And she looks at Syntagon and she says, "You used to know who I was. And if in this reality I'm not that person again for you, I understand. If this is a different life and a different world," and she kind of looks very sad for a moment and she says, "I don't want you to run from me or be afraid of me."
I'm looking between them. This is awfully strange.
You're telling me? Okay, now, I'm saying that I don't know who you are, and you're kind of throwing riddles at me?
I'm Cordassa.
I'm guessing my mind's been erased by the necklace things, right?
Not the necklace, no. I'm guessing with you, and she kind of looks you up and down, not in like a sexual way, but in sort of an exploratory way. And she says, "With you, it was different. You were there when the fall happened. There was a lot more to erase."
When the fall happened?
Do you want to keep going with your life as it is, or would you like to know the truth?
Can I do a history check on that wording, the fall?
Yeah.
Is there like maybe something that I might have even just like seen in passing? Maybe?
Mhm.
I've read a lot of books since the start of this campaign.
Roll them beautiful bones.
I'm gonna use an advantage as well. I'm doing it.
Do it.
I will. 23.
Okay. You don't recall reading anything about this, and that seems very strange because you are quite studied in history, and you are quite studied in history, and something as dramatic as all that seems like it would warrant its own thing. And she goes on to say, "I have no problem being truthful with you, but Gyra said that I was putting my own interests above that of the rest of society. It's up to you.
Well, let's just go and find out.
She sighs and she nods and she gestures and extends a hand out to you.
Get this
without a
feather
cat
duster
tail.
out of here.
She extends a hand out and she says, "At one time, you walked beside me, and we decided to walk the rest of our lives together. Walk with me now."
Syntagon looks at his left hand.
There is nothing there. However, as you pull out your left hand, make me... You know what? No, don't make me any roll. You recall a package. And you remember that when you'd first thought about it, you seem to remember giving this thing to Cordassa a long time ago, but also not a long time ago.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Dude, Syntagon wants to remember. He's gonna try and like rack his brains for what he did with the damn package. It was like with the staff with Puck, right?
Mm-hmm. It was the thing that made you run away from Cordassa when she tried to give it to you. Baby. Do you want GM help?
Sorry?
So do you want DM?
You muted halfway through there.
What's up?
You muted halfway through the sentence.
Do you want are you asking the DM to recall info, or are you trying to like Syntagon was traumatized and he needs to make a roll to remember?
Would he still have it on him somewhere?
Mm-hmm. He still has the package, he still has the staff.
Well, he'll just look for his stuff then and find it.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be in here somewhere. And I'll produce the package.
You produce the package, and as you're looking at it, you recall that there was this turquoise horn sort of ornament that went down into an earring. It was sort of like an ear cuff. So sort of like when people have like the earring that like chains up to like the higher piercing, which would be much more obvious if I wasn't wearing giant headphones, but it goes up to like a horn wrapping and has a bunch of jewels within it inlaid.
Does this trigger any memories?
Well, it's pretty.
Is it designed for me or for her? Is Holly frozen?
We have frozen.
I was gonna say I wasn't sure if that was just really good acting for a second and like something had happened to Cordassa.
No, she's frozen.
Yeah, she's real froze. Hopefully she'll be back in a second. This is such a mind trip. This whole thing, and last week there were some big like plot drops, but I managed to sequester myself away from everyone else, so I missed them all, which was a bit of a nightmare. Yeah. If she's dropped the call, that's usually a good sign. That usually means I can dive straight back in. Before now, her cat has put her PC in. Her cat has put a PC in airplane mode, turned it off. Hey Mackenzie, how you doing? Is it a mind trip? Is it, Teehee?
I think it's my trip.
It's
Or something.
Whew. Trying to figure out exactly what, because like for a long time she was like, you need to come home, and my brain immediately went, oh, family, and then thought like, oh, sister or something, and then it started getting a bit weird because she was a bit more intimate than that, and I was like, run away.
Yeah. All I know is that Winna is like counting down the time of We only have so much left on fly to get out of here. We either need to go forward or go back real soon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got a spell slot back, so if we're not fighting anything else, we can fly back.
She's just sent me a message on Discord. Internet cut out. 1 sec. Should be back in
Alright.
shortly. Yeah. There we go. Welcome back.
Hi. Thank you. I have no idea what happened.
You froze for the longest time, and I was like asking you questions, and I thought you were doing like an acting thing of like Cordessa's
Freeze
like
face.
frozen.
So what were the-
Space.
Where did I cut out in my?
I
in
was
my
just
talk?
asking: is the horn designed
Jewelry.
for? Yeah. Is it the jewelry horn jewelry? Is it designed to fit me or to fit her?
Make me an investigation. I gotta reload my roll 20, so just tell me what it is.
Yeah, sure. My investigation is 18.
Okay. It looks like it could be either. Because it's the nature of the ornament. It can be slid on. Hers are a bit narrower than yours are, so you imagine that it would just sit lower on her than it would on you.
I see. Okay. Does this have any sort of like? Is this a marriage gift? Is this a graduation gift? Is this a shitty birthday present?
Judging on context, I think you can be pretty certain that it is some sort of betrothal type thing.
Right.
Aw.
Okay. Okay. So if I keep going up here, will I get my memories back?
As you pull out this thing and you're looking at it, she like instinctively kind of reaches out for it, and as you ask that, she says, "Maybe it's worth a shot. At least you'll see what it's like. Really see what it's like."
All right,
Alright.
boss. Are we going up or are we not?
I
Yeah,
still don't know what we're seeing. Is it a portal? Is it a staircase?
It's
Is it-
like the cave going up, the tunnel going up. It is an upslope.
I'll head on up, but we don't all have to head up. I mean, there's a lot of drama about this staircase. I'm worried. Is it particularly dangerous up here or something?
She makes a face, and I don't think so, but that depends on who's up at the top. I hope it's just one person.
Is this someone we need to deal with?
Best to be on guard, I think.
Right. Escort the tieflings. Got it.
Okay. I'll manifest the shadow blade just in case. Well, the hex blade just in case.
Mm-hmm. And do you give her the ornament, Syntagon?
I will. Here, you might as well hold on to this. Until I can
I see.
remember it, it's kind of,
As you give it back to her, she immediately puts it on. And she seems to pause for a minute. And her eyes seem to well up with tears as she is wearing it. And almost just stopping. And she sighs and says, "Let's go on," and takes it off and puts it back like inside a pouch. And she leads you up this slope up, and as you reach the top of it, where before you've seen these cities, these towns, and based off your general knowledge, especially Winna and Karina, you've been around this area a lot. You know that up ahead, thinking geographically, sort of navigationally wise, there should be a small town. But when you reach the exit of this mine, you see one building standing among an expanse of just dead earth. There are no plants. The sky is tinged green and is so bright it's almost difficult to look at. There are no animals. There are no people. There's just this one building in the middle of nowhere. And looking down at the earth,
This ain't creepy.
looking down at the earth, it doesn't even seem like proper dirt. It's almost like cooled lava that blanking on the name, but it's like ashy, and then like underneath that ash is just this hard black rock. Yeah.
Igneous stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Glass.
And probably little bits of almost glass-like substance.
Did
And-
we play shift?
Cordassa shakes her head and she says, "This is the material plane. This is what they've been hiding from you in their reenactment of the death of the planet." And she looks at both of you, Winna and Karina, and says, "You've lived below. You're just actors in this play. This cruel," and she seems to be getting kind of mad, "this cruel, twisted attempt to try to reestablish everything we lost." And as she's speaking, you can sort of feel memories coming back of when the two of you had escorted these tieflings, and having completed the escort back to this town, it's almost like a layered memory of what you're doing now. But there was no mine back then. It was just across open grass. And then you got on a ship, and as you were sailing, it ran aground in the middle of nowhere. And you remember the difficulty of breathing and how it got harder and harder. But it doesn't seem like a real memory. And she shakes her head and she says, "I've never agreed with it.
What's happened?
They killed the planet. They took all of the water so that the ships couldn't sail. They took all of the air when people still fought over what was left. And then everyone who's still alive. Well, we're doing what we can. But
Hey, who?
we don't know. And that's what this whole thing is." And she kind of gestures broadly and points to Syntagon and says, "To take someone who is there through it all and relive it and figure out what happened and who did it."
That's why Kent said he was supposed to be dead. He was acting a part.
She nods and she says, "Well, there's not enough survivors to fill the roles. We found the husks of Warforged."
Does this have anything to do with the collars?
They modify you. And she reaches up and she sort of, you can feel her hands kind of grab along your neck as she kind of twists something and pulls. And you feel it kind of almost like it was under your skin a little bit as she pulls it out. It feels sort of like a really nasty splinter as the rest of you see this metal collar come off, and you feel really woozy and faint. And she very quickly takes a charm from around her neck and kind of like loops it around yours, which involves getting very close to you. For that interval, you can't breathe. Like there's nothing to breathe. And as she puts it on you, you suddenly feel yourself able to breathe again. And it seems like all of these memories are just suddenly like rushing back to you. And the rest of you make a perception check.
They aren't slave collars. They're breath masks.
Partly.
Perception.
Mm-hmm. Winna, you notice as Karina just sort of like wide eyes, like pupils as big as possible, as it seems like they're just frozen, as something seems to be coming back to them. And Syntagon, with your 20, you see this person who you've been traveling with for a while age before your eyes. And it looks like it's probably about 5 years. As this collar is taken off, they physically just age. It's a little hard because they're half-elf, but you've been staring at them for a while in these caves and fighting next to them.
Karina. I'm gonna reach and put my hand on her shoulder.
What? What happened?
You remember everything. And that's what we're going to call it, because it's 1:30.
What is this? Okay. So last week, Holly got the players 100% in on it, and did she do that with you guys? Are you in on it, or are you as mind blown as me?
Where
Yeah,
is
not in
my
on
blood?
And the weird part is I built a portion of my story where there's amnesia in it, unrelated to this.
My heart was so happy.
Yeah, no, I had any amnesia my character has. She assumed she got drunk.
Oh yeah, Karina, you 100% remember your amnesia bits too. All of it. It all comes rushing back.
I
Everything
was just
you want to know.
I was just glossing over some stuff that could get into trauma and whatnot, so I just did that. But okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone doing okay? Chat, you doing all right too?
You've broken Mackenzie. I can see that already.
I think that also.
Mirrors as well. They're both they borked. Well, we are running a little bit late, so we'll do a quick wrap up. Let's talk about who we are, where we can find each other online, and all the wonderful things that we do, and also tell us what your favorite part of the one shot was. Let's go around the opposite way around this time and start with Falcon of Light.
Hi, I'm Falcon. You can find me on the internet at Falcon of Light on Twitter, but on Thursdays you can find me on the Greyhawk channel starting next week. Doing Hidden Shrine of Tamachin, and at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. My favorite part of this was the memories.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Next, let's go around to Michaela. Michaela V. Sims, oh hi.
Hi, I'm Michaela. I'm actually a really old school gamer. started in 81, and I'm just getting back into things. I've been running my own home game with some folks online that I played with back in the early 90s in college. So that's been fun. And my favorite part tonight was, in addition to the mind stuff, every time I saw Scrat go nuts in shock, not knowing what was going on, that was fun.
Shooketh. I was shook to the core. That's got to be my favorite part. My favorite part is not just the shock, but when things started to slot together and I started to go, he was supposed to die not because of divination, but because it was a script, and the things are keeping people alive because there's no fucking air. Holly.
Hi, Sigophilia here. You can find me here Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm also on Twitter at Sigophilia. I had a blast. I loved how you guys creatively got through the mind, because half of it I was like, I don't have a solution. Let's just see how they work with it. So I thought it was really cool how we all sort of came together to have like different solutions to the same problems. I don't know, that was super cool. And like the moment where it's just like, I'm gonna just make you fly, bam. I also loved that we could reveal some big old chunky soupy plot bits, and that the curtain has been pulled away. And I also really love chat's reaction to this. It's making me feel very special.
Rightly so. Rightly so. I'm not okay. Mac, we'll talk afterwards.
Let's just go back to when it was Tiffany and keggers and everything was fine.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so, guys, peeps in chat, please check out the links that are currently being, spammed at you by my bot. There's all of our social links, all of the places you can go to support us, all of the sponsor links, Mage Hand Press and Burn the Storm Publishing, who make this all possible. I miss Tiffany. Tiffany was like the biggest piece of like. We hated her, okay? She was the worst thing to happen to this campaign. For Mackenzie to say she misses Tiffany she is shooketh. Okay, check out all those things. We've got a whole bunch of websites as well. Check out we've got 10 to 15% discounts. Go and check them all out. We're gonna go and pay a raid to our friend Casper.
Do we have a raid call?
I don't know if we do. Do we have a raid call? Mackenzie, Mirrors, what have we got? I'll go and check out the quotes list.
I think I saw something earlier about fireballing the.
I will set this whole place on fire, I swear. There we go.
Mood.
I can't
Especially since I just checked my Twitter notifications and the person who does the drawings has all the bear traps and, and your quote.
Ah, brilliant. There we go. Got it. So just put some quotes around that. Sorry, usually like someone like Tater or someone's in one of the mods and they usually do this bit for me. I'm not very good at it. There we go. So that's our raid cry. We're going to head over and raid Casper. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. We'll be back on Monday now with our first show of the week, completely normal, except Sam won't be there. So I'll be having a guest DM taking our cast through a 2-shot as they'll be away for 2 weeks. So tune in for that. We'll also be back at the same time next week for more Fading Footsteps. Until then, keep on evoking emotions, and we'll see you next time. Bye!